We are recording. The whiskey has been poured. We're on our second glass each.
Yes. Okay. So guys, you know, we here at Let's Fight a Boss, we always try and be as transparent as we can. And the truth is that right now, there is a bunch of stuff going on in basically all three of our lives. And after a pretty lengthy discussion, we've decided that I think it would be best for all of our mental health if we take a hiatus until March, at which point we're going to update people. None of us are dying. We are all friends. That's kind of all you need to know.
Yeah.
It's no one thing, right? There's many things kind of just coalescing that we just need a little time to take care of.
A little snowball was rolled down a hill a couple months back, and it's a bit bigger than it was.
Gathered snow.
Yeah.
It's gathered snow, and we think it's best for like the long-term viability of the show to just take a step back for a minute and take a breather. We still want to do a little mini episode today, but basically we got together, we're going to record a full episode, and then very quickly got into a discussion of, so how are we doing?
Yeah,
how are we all doing?
I felt like I was pussyfooting around it, and then I asked, and then we all answered.
And then we ended up drinking whiskey and watching wrestling.
Yeah, we were watching Roman Reigns.
I don't remember who suggested watching it, but
it was you. It was definitely
you, John.
And then it just ended up on the big screen.
Okay.
There's no way to tell.
Okay, so John started showing us some fucking wrestling shit in his phone, and I was like, no, send that to the big screen. So then we sat on the couch and we started pouring one out.
But we needed it. It was actually inspirational.
Yeah, it was good.
Like,
guys,
I kind of teared up.
It's not just me masturbating. Sometimes what I do actually
it's often you masturbating.
Everything I do for this podcast.
That's true. It's fucking weird.
Yep. But yeah, we just want to be straight up with you. We also just want to release a little episode today. Just a little note to the patrons. Well, we're going to be pausing Patreon shit on February 1st. This is going out January 30th. So just a little note there.
If you have any uncertainty, message me. I'll refund you. Don't worry about it. We want to be transparent with our patrons because we appreciate you guys, and that's that.
Great bunch of people. You can still give us a shout on the Discord or whatever, and as I always guarantee, there's like an 80% chance we'll respond unless it's Niamh.
Oh yeah, it's like 0.5% at this stage.
I think if you're on the Discord and
I'm just mostly not on the internet.
Niamh's responded to you, the light of God has shined on you, my friend.
For me, I'm like desperate for someone to say something so I can nag them back and be like, you're wasting my time.
For me, it's that like Catholic guilt of like, oh no, someone said something.
Well, someone recommended me a movie and I've already watched it.
What was it?
It was The Triangle.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was like a girl gets stuck in the Bermuda Triangle and she like finds the whole pile of her dead body. I think it reminded them of Resident Evil because they keep going around on about that Atlas scene.
It's the like abandoned cruise ship.
Yeah.
And it's very rusty looking.
Yeah, solid 6 out of 10 movie.
Yeah.
Watch The Triangle.
It's not as good as The Descent, which I prefer.
Yeah, but
the women are cave divers and
that's
they're having
a 7 out of 10, Brian.
7 out of 10.
That's like a 10.
That's the best score.
Yeah, that's like that. Like,
all my favorite movies are 7 out of 10.
Like no number is higher than 7.
Yeah. But yeah, we went to MAGFest. And
let's talk about MAGFest. Yeah.
Fucking hell, that was a lot. I don't know about you guys, but being around a large group of people again scared the fucking shit out of me.
So the day before MAGFest started, I went into the room that we were going to be doing the panel in because we did a panel Friday evening. Thank you very much for showing up. I know you all attended. Nobody was missing.
Okay, little note on the attendance there. What the fuck?
That was a lot of people.
I was genuinely expecting like maybe 20, 25 people.
Yeah. Compared to the last turn up we did.
Yeah.
Which was in like a couple of years back.
That was like the last meetup we did. What was it like?
Healthy 6.
Yeah,
Healthy 6.
A healthy 6
How many
group.
of that was us?
3.
3. Cool.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fucking people.
Yeah, I couldn't believe, like, the room we had was fucking massive. I took a photo of all the empty seats, and those seats fucking filled up that day.
Yeah, thanks so much to everyone who came. That really gave us plus. Also, just to say, we're doing a panel at KumaCon in Galway. Still doing that panel, just to be clear.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, MAGFest was insane. Did you guys get recognized much?
Yes.
Occasionally, yes.
And like the thing was, we had face masks on the whole time, so there was that barrier, so all they could see is your eyes, but that's enough. I guess we have enough signifiers with your hair at the moment, my cap.
I thought I would get recognized way less. and it was about the same as the last time I went to MAGFest. Like, it was...
That's mad.
I really appreciated, you know, people saying stuff and being so nice. It was like a little tough because I felt like I couldn't really hang out with you guys in a way, because like we'd be walking around the artist alley and someone would be like, oh, blah, blah, and then
it'd be very easy to tell if Let's Fight a Boss if it's all three of us.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The panel went really well. I was really, really happy with it.
I just couldn't believe who showed up for it. Like, it was so cool to see, like, after we did the show, and like Wooly and Little V went up to me and went like, that was a great fucking show.
Yeah.
That meant a lot that other YouTubers were at it and they enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Because like YouTubers do not like YouTubers.
Oh man, no one, like, you know the way people are like, I hate YouTubers. No one hates YouTubers more than YouTubers.
Everyone was really kind and really nice. Just like shout outs to, I don't know, everyone who was there, but like especially like Lydia gave us a nice, like a card and a bunch of sweets, and I took the Sour Patch Kids home.
I have the Swedish fish. Mm-hmm. They're very good. I have the card somewhere. My office is a fucking mess. But I do have keepsakes from everyone, and we did a 90-minute meet and greet afterwards that felt like 20 minutes, but afterwards felt like 3 hours.
I was like legit fucked up after that meet and greet.
It broke my baby brain when someone, and you know who you are, handed me their beautiful pink pearlescent 3DS to sign. And I was like, you want me to write my name on your beautiful 3DS?
So this is your personal belongings.
This is the thing about like doing meetups and signings and stuff. You are going to destroy a lot of beautiful things.
I was like, I'm doing on the back small. Like, that's what I'm doing.
One of the first ones I ever did was someone came up to me with this giant Chun-Li figure, so big and expensive I'd never seen it before. You know those figures?
Yeah, a
resin statue.
Just like a real figure that is way out of your league, so why would you bother?
Yeah, and he was like, could you sign the thigh, please?
Holy shit.
And I was like, I like for like 3 minutes, I was like, dude, come on.
We could do
it's
like
a nice
photo.
figure. Can I do the stand?
Yeah.
We got to meet our editor, Oni, for the first time IRL.
Holy fucking shit. Oni was the best.
It was our first time meeting, but it felt like meeting like an old friend.
Yeah. And like Bryan and Niamh will tell you, I fucking hate people. I don't like new people.
He's a prickly dude.
It takes me a long time to warm to someone.
He's not a social creature.
I am not a social creature. Do not be fooled by my persona. Don't like people. Don't want to talk to them. Immediately just loved Oni.
Open arms.
Yeah.
No, he just gelled with us, and it was super cool to have him with the panel. I love that he did the warm-up before we showed up. Just fucking brilliant.
Yeah, he was the best. There was a really funny bit, and I already made fun of him for this, but there was a bit where, like, basically, I think it was before the I Patch Wolf Wooly panel, and there was, like, I was just trying to avoid the queue because I didn't want to deal with, you know, I didn't want to get caught, because what'll happen is someone has to take a photo with you, and then someone else sees you're getting a photo taken, and then the circle forms. Mm-hmm. And so I was just sitting around the corner, and I sat down, I was drinking some water, and Oni who had come with me up to this point just goes, "Is it okay if I sit with you?" Like, yeah, you dummy.
Dude, you're
invited.
You nerd. You're in the circle. It's okay, buddy.
You're cool.
Yeah.
It was really fun just seeing a bunch of people again. Like, you know, Wooly and Steph and Rachel and Austin, James and Jill. We brought our friend Sean as well, who's like the head of Studio Mala in Ireland. And you know, sometimes like you have an acquaintance and they go from an acquaintance to a friend. That's what I felt like I went with Sean this con. I was like, oh, I just want what's best for this dude.
Sean's a good boy. I beat his ass at Sonic Fighters so hard. Like, it was like 20-1, and then John sat down and he ruined everything. And then we stopped having fun with that game.
So there
Fang the sniper, is it?
Fang.
There was a point, and I just wish I hadn't said it, because Niamh got so annoyed when I was just like, oh, I think this is based on the Virtua Fighter engine, isn't it? And she didn't say anything like that, and then we had a few games. You know, I like fighting games. And then Niamh, like, right at the end of the last one, just starts going, is it based on the Virtua Fighter engine?
Just being a shitty gamer.
No, it's just like, it was just like two people exploring like a fighter, and then John came around and he was like, yeah, I know how this works, and like just creamed everyone.
I'd never played it properly.
It's in his bones. It's in his DNA. Fighting games are there.
Did you guys meet any weirdos at MAGFest?
Oh yeah, lovely weirdos.
Yeah, but no one was like, everyone was weird, but not too weird.
Yeah, I don't think I had any like weird experiences or anything.
There was one weirdo, and we've spoken about that person privately, and that's for us to talk about privately. There was one bit, this guy wasn't weirdo, we just got into a really, really interesting conversation. I love when this happens at a con, especially MAGFest. You just, like, it gets one layer deeper than you expect it to. I'm sure that's happened to all of you.
Oh, God.
But, dude, I can't remember your name. You know who you are. You were security outside, well, face mask check, wristband check, pass check, security outside the older arcade area, and we got to know each other, and we talked about the American military complex for some reason.
Wow.
I'm Irish.
I had a really fun interaction with one of the security people at MAGFest once, where this was back before, I was just starting to get big. And I was doing Artist Alley with your Rebecca, Bryan, and I was sneaking us in coffee because you're not allowed outside. It was a year you weren't allowed any like outside food or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I had them like in this bag, and I was like trying to disguise it so I wouldn't like coffee. And one of the security guys steps in front of me and he goes, "Hey, love the videos."
He got you.
Yeah.
So I kept using, because our badge said attendee rather than panelist instead of attendee. I kept trying to use that to my advantage until I got called out on it.
Isn't that the most fucking Bryan?
No, it was. And Bryan,
world?
as his pro tip, kept telling me and Oni, you can go in the exit door if you show them that you're a panelist and say you're in a rush. And we were like, why would we? It was never that long a queue.
I kept doing it because the exit door is by the arcade, and I just wanted to get to the arcade 1 minute quicker. And at one point, I think it was on the Sunday, and I was like, I'm a panelist. Can I just get in real quick? And she went, "Do you have a panel?" And I was like, "Yeah, and so I need to get in." And she was like now? And I'm like, "Yeah, well," and she's like, "But why would you need to if you have a panel?" And I was like, "Okay," and I just fucking ran away.
She took that extra second to think about what you were saying to her.
I'm
and
such
she was
a con man
"Oh."
until I have to fucking have any fucking foot
Until
to
there's
stand
any
on.
resistance.
Yeah, I'm like,
it's like, hey, wait a minute.
You know what, dog? You got me.
I have a bunch of videos on my phone from friends I made when I was really drunk.
Oh yeah, the lads in the bathroom.
Yeah. I don't think any of them knew who I was, so they won't ever hear this.
That's way better.
I made friends with a bunch of people in the bathroom of a place. It was the day I was wearing my Garfield outfit.
Real shout out to the boys.
He comes up to me and he was like, "I like your Garfield outfit." And this guy was he was one of those people where this clothes he was wearing weren't super flashy, but he looked fucking deadly. And next thing I know, it's me and 8 of his friends just filming a video and screaming in the bathroom.
It's going mental on TikTok.
Yeah, I don't know. Is there a place we can put that? Is that even appropriate?
I don't know. Look, there's another video, and I hope it never goes public. I think you guys have seen it because our buddy, I think it was either Sean or else Foxgate filmed it, but both of them witnessed it. It's me getting nervous around the lady.
Lady
that
D.
Is the
that is
fucking
brilliant.
best.
Okay, so
She
we all
stood
had a
up.
dinner. John had to go early. Niamh wasn't feeling well, but I was hanging out, and I was like, I'm going to work up the courage, and I'm going to talk to the Lady D cosplayer. And she looked amazing. She sat down, and she was in character.
It was Lady D and 2 of the daughters.
Yeah.
In full
So
costume.
we're in a restaurant.
Looked
and
like they
just
stepped
walked
out
in.
of the video game.
Okay. Afterwards, the third daughter did show up. I think she was held up.
She was late.
Yeah, no, she
her.
Yeah.
No, she was being very bold, and she had to rebuild herself from bug ash or whatever.
Yeah.
So we're all done. We paid the bill, and we're walking out nice and slow. And I go, "Lady D, your cosplay is amazing. Do you mind if I take a photo with you?" And she takes out the sun hat that she had folded up, and I wear the hat, and she wears my baseball cap. I think there's a photograph of that.
That's my favorite photo of Bryan ever.
Okay, so we're talking away, right? And she's like, "Oh, you're from Dublin, Ireland, I guess, from the accent." So that leads in. And then she's like, "And so why are you here from Dublin, Ireland?" I said, "Well, I'm with my friends. We have a podcast called That's Why the Boss. We did a panel yesterday." And then she asked me about did they pay for your accommodation? I didn't want to get into that specifics. It was enough that she got angry and stood up.
The answer is no.
No. It's not.
Thank you for having us, MAGFest. Appreciate it.
Look, thank you. Look, hey. They're going to watch that VOD of that panel, and they're going to know we fucking put on a good show. Yeah. And they're going to want us back in whatever capacity.
By the way, as soon as the VOD goes up, we'll stick it up on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it was recorded. It seemed like they don't know what the timeline is.
You can just say VOD.
Yeah?
Niamh, I'm over 30.
Okay.
It's called a GIF. I'm not going to pronounce that shit.
Oh, do you mean a GIF?
Yeah, a GIF. I know the guy says it's
I don't give a shit what the guy says. I don't give a shit.
It belongs to the internet.
Takashi says Hunter and not Hunter x Hunter. Guess what? He's fucking wrong because he doesn't understand how fucking letters work, and somehow I'm the idiot.
He's right. Anyway, Lady D gets so outraged about my minor predicament that she stands up. She is a tall woman with a big décolletage. There's a video of me, and I take a step back because I got embarrassed because of the big boobie.
Okay, no, Bryan, you don't take a step back in that video.
He cowers.
You melt.
Yeah. No, but like
You are full on fucking simping.
But like before that, I have like the disposition of like a Mickey Mouse cartoon where I'm like, oh shucks,
Yeah.
oh jeez, where I'm like twiddling and I'm doing like the footsie because I'm just enamored. And Rebecca was like, "You having a good time, Bryan?" I'm like, I wouldn't show my weakness like that. I fucking fumbled.
I think me and John have been very clear about our love for Lady D, and Bryan has kind of been like, yeah, sure.
cool.
And like now he is fully in the camp of Lady D.
Oh, mommy can flatten me with that fat ass.
Yeah, that camp.
Yeah, no, I know what I am.
As I said to Bryan in a message about a certain Fire Emblem character earlier today, I'd let her do butt stuff.
Look, we're just very
Look, it's
open.
a hiatus episode. We can get a little loose. It's fine.
We are open-minded about video game characters because it's a safe environment to talk about our feelings.
Yep.
It's true.
Yeah, and Lady D, and it's just really weird when you see someone cosplaying someone you have a crush on, and you don't know what to do, so you're like,
I know. Anytime I see a Yuna cosplayer, instead of being like, "Can I have a photo with you?" I just leave. I like leave the room.
So I have like a real problem with that, in that I'll see someone cosplaying a character that like I have a crush on or whatever, and I'll be like, well, this is the most beautiful person in the world.
Yeah.
And then I'll see them out of costume, and
she's
I'll
a
be
normal
like,
person.
no, I'll be like, how dare you?
I remember one time a mutual friend cosplayed as Perona, and you know me in the mid 2000s with One Piece. On Bebo, of all places, I was telling John about Perona. This is how long it's been.
Oh, yeah, wow.
And so I saw Perona in real life, and I had to go to the bathroom to piss myself. Like, I just couldn't fucking keep it together.
So I actually did some little cosplay.
You did. You were doing Chainsaw. You did group
Aki
cosplay.
from Chainsaw Man, which I don't think worked super great because my face is too big and old. But it was still really fun. It was still really fun. I think
the wig looked good.
I think I could have done like Kishiba. I think I could pull him off pretty
I
good.
feel like I can only do masked characters at this stage. I'll do Eileen the Crow eventually.
You have a little anime face, Niamh.
Yeah, but it's an
Fucking
elderly meld like
fuck
anime
off.
face.
You've got a chin.
But
It's true.
I was doing it with Rebecca, who was doing a really good power, and then Rachel, who was doing like a kind of horrifyingly immaculate Makima. Mm-hmm. And there was just a bit where like
A very upsetting arc.
she's wearing like the beach dress. Everyone who's watched Chainsaw Man or read Chainsaw Man will know what that is.
Yep.
But there's a bit where like I'm looking at Rachel, and like the sun is kind of coming up behind her, and she's dressed at Makima, and she has like the little contact lenses and everything in. And if you know what happens on the beach in Chainsaw Man, it's genuinely horrifying, and it was like kind of disturbing. It was like, I don't like this at all.
I did like that Denji wasn't present because Denji would have fucking ran.
Yeah, but then like it's Rachel, and so then we'd stop shooting, and she'd just start doing a little gremlin walk because that's what Rachel is. I know that was good. Got to hang out with Wooly. Watched a bit of Hunter x Hunter with him. I felt like things got a little weird at some point, but then I think it kind of all came full circle and we're all right in the end.
I think so.
Yeah.
On the last night, Niamh, you missed this. John made us watch a wrestling match. It was a very good wrestling match. It was Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay for New Japan. Mm-hmm. See, I know wrestling. But before it, John was trying to like fucking get everyone to shut up. Behave yourselves, and it seemed like he was going to do like a film festival, like, you know, like little intro.
Yeah.
But we all kept like putting up our hands, asking questions about his YouTube channel, and I had to be like, I love asking if you had a JoJo stand, what would it be called and what would it be? Because that's like, we get that email every 2 months. Like, you know how I'm shitty about the emails? That's what I'm shitty about. But then
that one specifically.
But then Wooly goes, so how did you get started making YouTube videos? Which I was like, wait, like, just dude fucking took the, like, he knew what the initiative was and went for the kill.
Yeah.
which was just so fucking funny.
No, he'll
I
do
gotta
that.
say, we get that stand question all the time. I did meet my stand at MAGFest.
Yeah.
It was a wolf-headed woman in a really
Yes.
tailored kind of pirate-esque like outfit with heels,
That-
but with
that
a
was
giant
brilliant.
full wolf head. And I was just like, cool.
Yeah, because it was me, you, and Sean, and you were like, hold up. And we had to like pause MAGFest because you had to do this
I
thing.
needed a photo.
And Sean was kind of like, so this is who Niamh is. And I'm like, yeah, this is what it's about.
I love that moment with like new people in the group. So this is what Niamh is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, it was a wild MAGFest for about 8 different reasons, but it was fun.
Yeah.
I always remember the first... I think I've told the story before, but the first time someone recognized me at MAGFest, which was the first time someone recognized me. Did I?
No, go on.
Yeah, go on.
It's the guy who comes up to me and he's like, hey, you're right, Patchwolf. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, cool. And there's like a little pause, and then he goes, just so you know, I'm straight. That guy.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And
And then
were you like, me too.
I was...
Yeah,
you
bro.
know, I figured some stuff out. And, anyway, but then he goes, just so you know, I'm straight. I'll totally suck your dick. First fan interaction of all time.
What a start.
What a banger. Yeah.
What an absolute
Start as you
banger.
mean to continue.
Yeah, and like,
Yeah.
it was inappropriate. And so after he did suck my dick, I was like, don't ever do that again.
Yeah. No,
Oni, I don't know. That did not happen. That did not happen. Maybe cut that, Oni. I don't know.
No, keep it in. Just
That did not happen. No one... Look...
no one has ever sucked John's dick.
No.
That's...
I'm still waiting.
I'm getting married
Aren't we
soon.
all?
Okay, look, John.
I don't even know what
Okay.
friendship is anymore.
Okay, we're great with our fans. We're like super mean to them, but like in a cute way,
Yeah.
not in like an abusive way.
Okay. Are we done with MAGFest? Are we gonna move on to what we've been doing?
Yeah.
On the subject of being mean to fans, I did actually feel bad about one interaction. Do you remember the girl who asked me did I like rugby during Wooly's panel?
Oh my god.
The girl, I couldn't.
Yeah.
But was she doing a bit or not?
No, she didn't have a fucking clue, and I was sitting in the crowd with everyone who knew you personally, and we all just went,
Like,
the fuck you
a girl
doing?
put up
Yeah.
her hand and she was like, "So as an Irishman, how are you feeling about the Six Nations?"
Were you like, what the fuck is that?
I laughed for like 30 seconds, and then I was like, "Next question."
I think that's a reasonable response.
I felt
I'm
bad.
sure she got it. No, I
If
think
you're listening, I'm sorry.
Um,
I kind of have to be spicy during panels.
Also, you just don't know anything about sport.
no, unless it's like
Unless
full
it's
contact with like
yeah,
okay,
unless
okay.
it's like,
Okay,
fighting.
Okay, I guess rugby is full contact, has a referee, but it has a ball. If it's a sport without a ball, John's more interested.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And if the object is to stop your opponent from moving, that's also a big plus.
Yeah,
Okay, Niamh, we're done talking about MAGFest.
Okay.
but it might pop up occasionally.
Thank you to the guy who gave me weed.
Sweet. Thank you to the guy who gave me edibles. You know who you are. John, you want to thank anyone for your bit? You want to thank the guy? Do you want to thank the person who gave us moon pie? I don't know.
That was Lydia.
Lydia. Okay, thank you,
Lydia
Lydia.
just gave us a lot. She's very giving.
Okay, Lydia. You know how I'm a fucking freak for those like gift present bags? I'm gonna reuse one of those on either John or Niamh.
Christ, Bryan, you and gift. I just don't understand.
It's gone to the point where I keep a tab on other people's gift bags and how they're circulating.
Oh, really?
I have nothing going on.
So you know, like, which ones we've given you, so you won't give me my one back, you'll give my one to John.
I write initials inside the gift bag so I can keep a tab on who's going where.
Does Bryan give you good presents, Niamh?
Occasionally.
I gave John a bad present a couple months back and I'm so pissed about it.
Mm-hmm.
I gave him a Grappler Backy t-shirt of Yujiro Hanma, but it was just such a physically... Because John was full-blown t-shirt printing at the time.
Yeah.
And he was like, this is just like an F grade. It's a bad t-shirt. The print might have been good, but the material wasn't.
Okay.
I get Bryan very beautiful, thoughtful gifts.
He got me Mario Lego. And it was the Mario Lego I had. So that meant I got even more Mario Lego.
And Rebecca, let it happen.
Yeah.
Damn.
She didn't even draw me Rouge the Bat.
That sucks. Did I get you a good present?
You got me an incredible present, Niamh. I think you gave it to me, didn't you?
No, Rebecca gave it
Rebecca
to you.
did, okay.
She's
Because
trying
I
to
also
use the bat
knew...
like twice, John.
I actually was
Only
just
once.
like, I
Only
can't be
once.
around.
You want it
If,
again?
I said to Rebecca, you need to give it to John because I can't be around if he cries.
I think I did. I if I didn't cry, I sure came close.
Mm-hmm.
But
The best present I ever gave Niamh was a wooden block robot years ago when she wasn't expecting it, and she went, "Oh, you're so cute." The best present I ever gave John was that Dojin of what's her face?
That was legit awesome.
It was what the
Galco.
Okay.
Galco?
It was a Please Tell Me Galco-chan Dojin, and it's way better than the source material because the source material ain't good no more.
Look, cards on the table here. Not a man who consumes a lot of porn, but reading this stuff, I was like, this is like good. This is like the person who did this has fucking skill.
This was a king's feast. It was very good, and like I saw it and I was like, oh. Nothing's going to top this.
Best present I ever got Bryan was a Neo Geo Pocket.
Yes. It's in my figure cabinet and I'm very proud of it. I'm too scared to play it sometimes, but I did play it one time. Okay.
Did you not try and convert it or something?
I
don't care. You can do whatever you want with it.
I did. No, it's fine. I have a way better story than that because I'm so bad at fucking modding Game Boys and other handhelds. There is a Gone in 60 Seconds with John and Wooly from 2020. But you can't see it because I'm hiding. But I'm hiding behind one of the beds playing Pac-Man on the Neo Geo Pocket in that video. And you wouldn't know it, but that's a little Easter egg.
So I think that's season 2, episode either 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Bryan is in the room as that is happening.
Yeah, but I'm hiding behind a bed playing Neo Geo Pocket. That's a really good MAGFest story.
Yeah. I remember Willie left and you were like, wow, that was intense.
But that's because he was selling the bathrooms. No, never mind the bathroom.
Yeah, that's a different story.
That was a private toilet.
Yeah, wild times. AkumaCon or Galway. What date is it, Bryan?
I will tell you now. Only you can fix this and edit. We have a panel on Saturday 11th in AkumaCon Galway in the middle of the day. It might be 2 o'clock, might be 3 o'clock, it might be 1 o'clock. Some sort of time around then. You need to cut out whatever you got going on.
We can't do all the work for you.
Yeah.
Okay? You got to figure some of this out yourself.
Like, Grandpa's dying? Fuck him. You got to fucking go to AkumaCon.
Yep.
He's old.
He's old. Like,
why are you hanging out with your grandpa? What are you, a kid?
like, dude, this podcast's going on hiatus. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Yeah. Like, Grandpa's going to have to wait. Grandma, though. Stick around for Grandma.
You respect your grandma.
Yeah, no, but Grandpa.
Yeah.
That's an Irish man who says, I'm grand, even when he's hurting inside.
Yeah.
Let's
be real.
No, we need to defeat that. That's something we need to...
I know.
Yeah,
it's such
I know.
Yeah.
We're all suffering.
What do we need to defeat?
Saying
like,
I'm grand. Like,
but
the Irish, like the impulse to say I'm grand when you're dying inside.
Yeah, like something awful is happening and you're just deflecting by saying...
I know, I'm grand, you know me.
But to me, it's like...
Just a bit of cancer.
You meet someone and they ask, how's it going? I'm not going to be like, here's all my... Like, if it was one of you guys, I probably would. But, like, if it's, someone else, I'm going to be like, I'm okay.
Full
if
stop.
they ask me how I'm doing later on in the conversation, that to me is carte blanche to be like, well,
actually,
life's a fucking nightmare.
I just say bad.
You do.
Yeah, no, it's a real way to scare them off, but I'm like... Okay.
And I'm like, oh, why is the energy shifted?
Yeah. Like, because sometimes...
Keep it up!
Because sometimes, like, Niamh's like, oh, I'm not having a good birthday, and I'm like, pray tell? And other times I'm like, cool, shut up. Like, it's a vibe of both.
Yeah,
and
it's a real roll of the dice how empathetic Bryan is going to be towards it. Bryan has told me to stop talking about my problems several times.
But they're not real problems.
Yes, they are, you fucking monster!
Your nails aren't.
When have I talked to you about my nails?
You talked about your nails on the 30th of January. That's all I remember about the 30th.
I wasn't, like, upset about it. I just got
And John, you were having a bit of a whinge.
Was that when you got the French manicure?
Yeah. You had the white tips.
By accident.
He got frosted tips on his fucking piggies.
Guys, there's certain things that aren't really for the podcast. It's just friend stuff.
This is why we gotta live a private life for a while.
I was like, John's black nail varnish is really cool. It really suits him.
No.
And she was just like, it's because he got French tips.
Who said that?
Rebecca. And needed to cover them up. It was very funny.
That is
He gets a lot of manicures.
That is true, but I have legit been doing like dark and colored nail polish since then.
I know.
Because I think
it suits you.
It looks great.
I
fun.
really, really like it.
I don't
it's a
like
bit of
I
razzle
can't pull it
dazzle.
off. It makes my fingers look too short. It's just like I have a curse. No, it really is. Like,
okay, Niamh, black pants, black long sleeve sweater like you're wearing, nail polish. Fucking forget about it. You can be fine.
We'll see. We'll try.
I think it's the kind of thing where it takes more styling than you might originally think.
I know, but I'm looking at my nails. I don't know. Like
I think it also always looks weird to you because like when I was looking at my nails at MAGFest, I was like, this looks fucking strange. But then I saw it in photos and I was like, that looks fucking cool. You know?
I guess so.
I liked it.
Other people's perception is different than your own.
I think we all tell ourselves way too much that we can't pull off X.
You guys are lovely. Thanks for being my friends.
I don't mean you specifically.
Oh.
Just to be clear, because I felt like you got too much positivity from that.
Yeah, I know. Take it back a little. Take it back.
But yeah, I remember when I started selling the black eye patch wolf beanie, literally a black beanie with just a white logo on it. One of the comments was, I wish I could pull something like that off. Dude, it's a black... I'm not saying this because I want to sell a beanie. I'm saying this because Jesus Christ, dude, have some faith in your ability to
wear a hat.
There's so many ways to wear a beanie. You could turn it up a little bit so it just goes over the tops of the ears. You can have it all droopy, but I wouldn't anymore because that's old style.
Yeah.
But like, you can do a fisherman style and it works on anyone.
Beanies, it's real hard to wear a beanie bad.
Yeah, it's a beanie.
Yeah.
There's a weird like contrarians about beanies. It's just a beanie. It is a very accessible item of clothing. It's for everyone.
It's functional.
Yeah,
every human has a head for the most part.
If you want to dress a certain way, just fucking do it. Just do it. And you'll feel weird, and then someone will be like, you look great.
This is because we were like, some people are going to be like, not everyone has an asshole. Yeah, but I guess they're the butt of the joke. Hi-oh! I've got so many fucking stupid films on this thing. Can I start?
Go on.
Okay, this is Questlog. Does that have a song? Media.
Okay, in the future, that's going to be the question.
Okay, I got 2 sci-fi movies. One is called Avatar: Way of the Water. I'm sure The Way of Water. Sorry, you have to say it correctly because the needs to be in front of way.
Put respect on it.
I've seen this film twice because I saw it and I thought it was fucking brilliant. And then I saw it the second time in 3D IMAX with the high frame rate. They do the high frame rate so good in this movie because I've seen the Hobbit movies in high frame rate and they do it on every single shot. In this, they only do it on specific shots that need the action and intensity. In the dialogue back and forth, it's just at the 24. And it's such a clever decision, but it means every shot is considered and treated with value. It's a really weird film. A lot of the leading actors are secondary to the film. I thought the Na'vi kids in it were great because kids are usually fucking annoying as shit in films. Those 4 kids, fucking brilliant. Even though one is played by Sigourney Weaver and she's in like her 70s. But she's playing a teenager.
What?
Yeah, it's a fucking weird movie. Like, there is some weird stuff where like 2 characters who have rejected the relationship of the other character that they're both technically related to in a weird cerebral DNA way, acknowledge each other as a father and son, even though they are not. There is some weird shit in this movie, but it's also just like a really run-of-the-mill sci-fi. It's just this, and like, there's a whole section of this movie about space whaling, and they have to explain the new unobtainium. I love unobtainium from the original Avatar, but the new, like, holy grail, like, $1 million object is the brain juice from a whale that stops humans from aging.
What does this have as good a name as Unobtainium?
They don't even say the name of it.
Oh, okay.
And it's going to probably come back in either the third
Brain
or fourth
Juicium.
movie. Brain Juicium. The other sci-fi movie I want to talk about, and this one is probably one you haven't heard of, is Something in the Dirt. Something in the Dirt. Something in the Dirt. And this is a COVID lockdown sci-fi film made by the 2 directors who star as also the lead actors. And it's about 2 guys in an apartment in LA that realize they're on this weird magnetic field where things aren't the way they seem they are, and certain objects levitate, and they decide to make a documentary. And some of it is post-documentary and some of it is pre, but it's shot as a dramatic recreation. And it's just really fucking funny.
I like the idea of it being shot as a recreation. It's really funny.
And there's a bit where like the 2 guys are getting like way too into each other and they both have to explain that they're not sexually attracted to each other.
Oh.
Even though one's gay and the other guy's asexual.
There's a really good bit in Atlanta season 4 where they had to kiss.
That bit is fucking brilliant.
So good. So good.
Okay, Something Dirt's great. That's a good sci-fi movie. Check out that bit in Atlanta where it's just this dude who's like, he can find you any Nike drop you need. And he's like, money's just an object. How about you guys just kiss? That's what he wants as payment.
So, okay, I was thinking about it, and like, oh, not to get weird.
Atlanta season 4
between us three.
Asks a lot
but
of
if
questions.
I was hanging out with either one of you, and some guy was like, you have to kiss this person for like a minute to get this, I'd be like, fuck it, whatever. We're all gonna be dead soon. Anyway. Who gives a shit?
A minute is fine. It'll be a funny story.
Yeah, like
a minute's a long time to kiss someone, but it would be fine.
But this was like 18 seconds.
Okay.
In 18 seconds, I was like, I'll kiss someone I don't like for 18 seconds.
I really like how one of them was into it and the other guy had to like hesitate, and then the other guy was upset about that.
I think Darius,
because he thought they were friends.
I think that yeah, that's the thing. I think that it just, I don't know. It made me realize I think I've passed some barrier where I just don't give a shit anymore. I don't know.
Years ago, John and I had to touch tongs to prove a point.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And like,
Bryan.
John had to like work up to it. I was called into a room without question and acted upon the initiative.
Yeah.
Isn't that right, John?
You were ready. You were born ready.
Yeah, I didn't even know I was ready, but I did it.
This was to alleviate someone who was very upset.
Yes.
God, explaining it does not make it anything.
Look, college is fucking stupid.
College is really stupid.
And you think when you're 22 you could solve a problem.
By kissing your bro.
Turns out it did nothing.
No. Except I was like, wow, John's tongue is really wet and it's got a good pushback. Niamh's fucked. We got her.
Oh.
Very good. I watched, on the subject of this, I watched Bros.
Yes.
This was available on the plane to MAGFest, on the plane back for free. But instead I paid €20 to watch it in my hotel room.
I couldn't fucking believe when he said that. I was like,
I know, but there was no channels. There was only Fox 2022, which I
The
did.
wall, Niamh.
Yeah, like, and but it's
They're
not
still
like it
building
didn't
it.
seem that conservative. It was just like I was like, is this like the non-conservative version of Fox? I don't know. It was either that or I was watching this thing where they made moonshine.
Maybe Niamh.
we had moonshine and
Maybe
fucking
the
sucked.
thing is, you have become so conservative that Fox doesn't even seem that.
Maybe, I think so.
It's weird.
Like,
It's
you
weird.
have a stiff upper lip and you didn't even realize
Yeah,
it.
it was
You were
weird
getting
as well
perturbed
because,
by
like,
the open mind.
Niamh came and talked to us after, and she was like, "I just watched some Fox, and let me tell you, a bunch of fucking snowflakes on there." I was shocked. I didn't know what to say.
Well, I paid 23 plus tax for Bros.
I couldn't
I was
believe
with
it.
you for a minute because I was like, no, Bryan, listen, sometimes it's okay to spend money for convenience. And I know you don't agree with that. Now, Niamh, you're pushing it.
Okay.
I know, I was pushing it anyway. I was just in a situation.
This was her birthday and she was sad.
Yeah, it was my birthday. I was sad, and there was like Mario Lopez was like paid by the hotel to tell me what to watch, and he recommended Bros or Top Gun, and I was just like, I'll go with Bros.
Yeah. Top Gun's been out in
You
torrents
gay or
for...
straight?
Yeah.
Bros was way better than I thought it would be. When this movie was marketed, it was totally marketed to straight people as a gay, lol, haha, you watch RuPaul and are straight.
So that's
movie.
why I didn't watch it. 'Cause
Yeah.
I was like, I don't need that.
It just seemed like it wasn't for the LGBT, but watching it, all the humor is like about LGBT intra-community fighting, and like all the celebrities in it are gay and LGBT and like and of different like areas of reality TV and whatever. It's just like it was much gayer than I thought it would be, and I think it really suffered from its marketing.
The bit where it starts off...
Jennifer's Body.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it
That was a
suffers.
badly marketed one.
I think this movie will get its audience later in life.
It'll be a cult hit for sure.
Yeah, and I was on the plane back, and the guy next to me, and he was like this guy, like the first guy I went on the plane over who was next to me, he was very neat, and I was very thankful of that. And this guy was just like putting his shit everywhere. And I was like, oh, fuck this dude. But then he put on Bros, and I was just like, oh, okay.
So I looked at him
My guy.
and I was like, oh shit, Niamh's sitting next to someone who's like real straight.
Yeah, like...
And I was like, oh, that sucks for Niamh. And then he put on Bros, and I was like, and then he watched it all the way through, and I was like,
But John, he fast-forwarded through the sex scenes.
Okay, because like those sex scenes go hard.
that's not straight. you're kind of gay and you don't want to admit it. That's the
I don't
only
know.
reason.
Like, I don't know.
know,
It was like,
but, like-
every single one, it was just like, like hammering on that 30 plus
It
seconds.
also could have been that he didn't want people to see him watching sex scenes on a plane.
Maybe. I was watching Footloose and like reacting a lot to it. Like,
I watched it on plane, and I because the sex scenes are, and I do appreciate that the sex scenes
They're
do
full
not,
on.
They're very passionate,
Yeah.
and
they have a threesome.
yeah. Okay, so I thought this film was okay, but one bit I loved was one of the post-sex intimacy moments they have where it's Billy Eichner and the other guy. I actually want to talk about the other guy because he's, oh my God.
No, but he's gorgeous. This is the thing about this movie. Billy Eichner's character is like really like annoying and repulsive, so I can understand why he's like chronically single.
Yeah.
But I think they're trying to do that like dowdy girl gets with this beautiful
Yeah.
person and they kind of have a transformation.
But there's a sweet moment, and you would only see this in a gay film where it's the two dudes, the two bros talking to each other. But he's like, I love how hairy your chest is, and I love how it concaves in. And it's like, you wouldn't really see that conversation between a man and a woman.
That is a conversation someone had in real life.
Yeah. And I
it's
love
cute.
that bit because I was like, that disarmed me. Because up until that point, I was like, it felt like a New York romantic comedy with a gay twist. But that bit got me where I was like,
There was like sincerity to it.
it was very genuine.
I felt it was very authentically gay all the way through. It's
I did like the opening. I did like the opening. We was talking about the Stonewall riots.
Yeah. And it's like very like white gay, but it also acknowledges that it's very white gay. Like, which like, I don't know if that makes it better or worse, but it does talk about itself. It's trying. And I think it's like, I think it will have a cult following. Yeah. Like, I don't know. It's way better than you think it would be. The name Bros, the poster, the marketing. All
the poster is
all
so
does
cringe.
this movie a real disservice.
The poster had real, like, what was that movie where two guys got married for legal reasons?
Chuck, like what? Like
Chuck and Larry
get married. Yeah, it has the exact same vibe as that. Yeah, even the name Bros, like it has nothing to do with that. They're never like, yo, I'm your bro, and like then they realize they're gay. Like the guy sees them at a gay club, and he's like super hot.
Well.
Okay,
yeah, but that's
so,
bro,
I'd watch that too, but that's
that'd be so funny.
That would be great, like two himbos falling in love.
Yeah.
But like, it's such a different movie, and I think it really suffers from how it was marketed.
So Billy Eichner is the lead, and he is a co-writer, and I think he's the executive producer, so he has creative control over the film.
It's a real passion project for him, I think.
Absolutely. So his co-star, his love interest, I looked at his filmography. It's amazing. All the other films he's done, you recognize the poster right away. It's the heterosexual Hallmark Christmas romance film.
And is he the hetero man?
Yeah. He is the small town guy that the businesswoman who has thrown away living in the city life responds to. And
I'd actually love to be a trad wife.
Yeah. And so he's that guy playing against his cast type, and he was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So Bryan, you mentioned I guess like Hallmark like movies there.
And in this film they talk about the Hallmark Christmas because it takes place over Christmas, or a good chunk of it does.
I watched a movie recently and it was real, like you know like you watch a movie that you don't enjoy and you're like, that's a bad movie.
But this is scientifically bad.
This movie was like, oh no, like my scale actually stops at like 4 out of 10. I didn't know what a bad movie was. I watched Coming Home for Christmas. This is like a made-for-TV movie. It is maybe the worst thing I've ever seen. Can I read you guys my Letterboxd review of it?
Yes, please.
Yeah. This is a 2017 Christmas movie.
It starts with, holy fucking God, and then there's a line break. I was really drunk when I wrote this. This movie is like all of humanity died in a nuclear holocaust, and then a separate species grew out of our radiated corpses, and then over the course of millions of years evolved and developed their technology to the point that they could create film, and then made fun of us. I don't know what kind of camera they... and then made this to make fun of us. I don't know what kind of camera they shot with, but everyone looks like a Sonic 06 cutscene. I just wanted to spend some time with my mom, but Christ above, it's like anyone can make art. Like anyone, and that's kind of beautiful, you know? I would really recommend people check it out. It's... If you think you know bad, this is something else.
To see the opposite of cinema.
Yeah. Were you finished talking about...
Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Guys, I watched Puss in Boots.
I did too. It's fucking...
That movie fucking rules.
Okay, this movie is not out in Ireland until mid-February.
I know. How did you guys watch it?
We
don't have to tell me.
Because there's no legal way to watch it.
The World Wide Web. Okay.
Okay,
I'm absolutely seeing this in the
They
cinema.
have failed to show this movie in Ireland yet, and so as soon as it's in the cinema, like...
Yeah.
Okay, so like...
It looks gorgeous.
So like, the original Puss in Boots, which came out 10 years ago, is a prequel to the Shrek movies. This is a sequel to the Shrek movies.
So, Niamh, it looks gorgeous. It's like a great story. It's like...
Oh, great. That's what I mean.
It's visually and
is about
analog.
Puss in Boots coming to terms with the fact that he's going to die.
Holy shit. Because I wanted to
He's
watch
on his
this
ninth
as
life.
an animator, and now I just want to watch it as the person who likes movies.
It is a good movie. Like, there's parts of me that wished it just leaned a little bit more into like him coming to terms with mortality, but like the way they express that and the way they characterize it, like there's a character in this movie, and oh my fucking god.
Yeah, like he's better than Ian McKellen's depiction in The Last Action Hero.
Yeah, he is so frightening. Like there's a bit where like he's the first confrontation with him and Puss in Boots, this character shows up and like Puss in Boots tries to like Puss in Boots him, and he can't do it. Like nothing works on this guy.
The charm ain't working.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a part, and it just feels so fucking real, where like Puss in Boots' opening like song is about like the untouchable, unbeatable Puss in Boots. Now he's ultra brave. There's a bit where like he has a scuffle with this guy, and Puss in Boots steps back. Little fucking drop of blood comes down on his head.
It's fucking nuts when there's blood in a kid's movie, because you know shit's kicking off.
And then the guy, like Puss in Boots has dropped his sword, and the guy kicks the sword towards Puss in Boots, and it's so scary. He just goes, "Pick it up." Mm-hmm. It's brilliant. The people who made this, I'm not going to like clarify this point or get specific about it. The people who made this movie absolutely love Bloodborne.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
They understand that the moon is full and the beasts are out.
Yep.
That's so fucking good. I'm so happy that people who have creative control love Bloodborne.
There's so many shots in this movie that I can still see crystal clear in my mind because it's beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Goldilocks and the Three Bears are also in it.
Yeah.
It also turns into a beautiful family drama about their relationship.
Amazing.
Also, and Brian, I'll let you take this, Jiminy Cricket.
Okay, he's doing like a Jimmy Stewart voice, and it's like, oh, I don't think you should be doing that. And it's just this weird fucking character that is irrelevant. What the fuck? I loved him.
So he's like basically on the shoulder of like the secondary villain of the film.
Fucking like the dude with the thumb.
He's the what's his name?
Okay, at this point they've ran out of fairy tale characters, so now they're doing nursery rhymes. Yeah. So it's the guy that has the purple thumb and the pie.
Okay, yeah.
Tom.
No. I don't know.
But anyway, he's like
I know the rhyme you're talking
like this
about.
Giant like capitalist asshole, and at some point
who like collects stuff but doesn't care about it.
Whoa.
That's my
Why
alarm.
was that so loud?
Because we're drunk.
Fuck me.
Jack Horner sat in a corner.
Yeah.
Oh.
But like he looks like an Oda drawing where the scale is off.
So I thought there was something vaguely One Piece-ian about pretty much this whole movie.
All his proportions are fucked. Like the dudes at DreamWorks understand weird niche Japanese PS4 exclusives and big manga series.
Yeah, there was some real anime moments in this movie for sure. But this guy, his whole deal is like he's just a horrific, abominable person. But he has like this Jiminy Cricket consciousness. The entire time Jiminy Cricket's like, oh, you shouldn't have done that. Oh no. And it's so funny.
Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Gizmo from What We Do in the Shadows, Guillermo, plays a dog who is disguised as a cat.
Brilliant.
They do this one bit where it's like, people who have studied animals and know how a dog emotes, they do the thing where, you know when a dog rests his chin on your lap?
Yeah.
They do that animation so well at just the right time when Puss in Boots is having a panic attack, and it just seals the deal.
Yeah.
It's a good film.
Great movie. I think like my only real knock at it is that Selma Hayek plays a cat in it as well. Just would have liked a bit more from her because her character was cool, but they nod to her story without ever explaining it.
She's in the prequel. She's just come back because in real life, Salma Hayek and Antonio Banderas have done a bunch of films together.
Yeah.
So that's why they had her, and it makes sense in the continuity to bring her back because they kind of have like the husband, wife, mother, father relationship with their weird surrogate kid.
Yeah. Also watched Atlanta season 4. Awesome.
Did we like the Goofy episode, John?
Loved the Goofy episode. Kind of felt like there was a little bit of Space Jam 2 in there.
See, I was watching, I was like, this is like Donald Glover doing the Space Jam 2, but like, because it's done through FX and the parent company is Disney, he has full legal access to a very goofy movie, and he's allowed to use it and just remix the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
And he does.
It's an incredible episode. It's really, really good.
The bit where they have Sinbad is really good, but the bit where they have the other animator talking about him, and he's like, yeah, and he took a gun to the office and he said, I don't know, I might need to use it someday.
So basically,
I don't know who.
Atlanta invented,
so they need to know who they fucking with.
Atlanta invented this like made up narrative where a young black Disney animator became the CEO of Disney
by accident because of a name.
Accidents. And so he decided he was going to make, and I quote, the blackest movie ever made, which turned into the Goofy movie. And
not wrong.
No, over the course of making it, he starts to go insane.
He becomes Goofy. He did a laugh like Goofy, but broken.
Yeah, that's my favorite bit. He's like,
what is Atlanta?
It's just
is that TV anymore?
Atlanta is like I can't remember how Donald Glover describes it, but he says he wants it to be like a modern Twin Peaks, and that is very much.
He said it was like Twin Peaks for black folk.
Yeah, yeah.
Because like it's something we're looking in on the outside, and we're like getting the bare minimum, but we're enjoying the fuck out of it.
Yeah, I think Darius from Atlanta.
I love that dude.
He is. I think he's me and Michelle's like favorite TV character. Like,
I got really into Paperboy this season with the farm.
I've always been into Paperboy,
but that bit with Darius and the bit with him and his brother, and then you understand what actually happened. That was genuinely upsetting.
Yeah. That was
Jesus Christ. It's a good show.
Great show.
That last episode too. That's such a good last episode because it feels like a middle episode at its peak, but it's the last episode, and what a way to end it.
Brilliant. Take Judge Judy.
That's the only way you know.
He knows he's in the isolation tank, Niamh. But
this is his totem or his tandem. You know the way Inception, they have that thing that they know whether they're in the dream or not.
Yeah.
His is that he's watching Judge Judy and she gets up and has like a big juicy ass.
Oh, okay.
Because why would she? She's like an 80-year-old white woman. Like she wouldn't have a dumper.
Yeah. She might.
She's got a bony old behind.
Maybe she's doing them squats.
She should, but she's not. We all should.
We need to move it on to like games, guys.
Yeah. Okay.
It is super late and we've drank a lot of whiskey.
Torque is really good. You should watch that. Boogie Nights is a film I saw in the cinema. I Love That For You is a television show that I recommend. It's a good show about telemarketing and cancer. Your two favorite things, everyone. This is strategy talk.
Strategy talk.
I hope you're loving the chaos, kids.
Yeah. Very quickly, I finished Callisto Protocol. That game gets better towards the end, and then it has a Resident Evil style last boss, and it kind of sucked. But the entire game was a real miss. It was a real mishmash of better things and had no identity of its own. And I hope that doesn't become an IP that continues, because it really has nothing to give anyone.
To me, I look at it, and I haven't played it, but from everything I've heard, it strikes me as something that could be a lot better the second time around.
Maybe. I feel like it is, but I'm also like, I'd rather you put that energy into literally anything else.
I guess I'm kind of thinking like along Evil Within 2 lines.
Oh, well, the main character doesn't make it out.
Fuck you,
there is
John.
DLC
what I
though.
like about that, Niamh, is that you left it vague.
Yeah, I didn't want to spile people who really give a shit about Callisto Protocol. That motherfucker does a noble sacrifice because that's all that game has got going for it.
He's white. He's got it.
Yeah, he has to.
It's Tad Hamilton.
Yeah, like where else would that game go?
Yeah.
The story is as predictable as you would think it is.
Yeah.
Other than that, I played The Evil West, and this is a game I actually really like. It's about vampires versus cowboys. You play as a character called Jesse, and he is the last, not the last, but one of the last remaining like vampire hunters in a kind of dwindling kind of institution. It's full of narrative. It's full of corny ass video game narrative. Feels right out of the 360 era. They don't care. They're not trying to write The Last of Us. This is dumb, fun video game nonsense. There's a little girl vampire who obliterates everyone, and the combat is something close to God of War meets a fighting game. So you're doing the Callisto Protocol thing where you have guns, but you're not aiming a lot except for your rifle. Your shotgun's just a blast, and your like
my favorite kind of gunplay.
Yeah, and your handgun is just a fan that you do, and you're doing combos like kind of Devil May Cry combos.
I've seen, like, launchers and
So
you do a launch.
So you have a punch with range.
Yeah, you have a punch. You can punch it into like an explosive barrel. You're like managing characters coming in. With Callisto Protocol, you had something like that, but you were locked into one character, so something off screen could kill you in a way that felt cheap.
Yep.
This kind of like God of War kind of signals that other characters are coming in at your flanks and stuff. I am having a great time with this game. It is very like mid-tier, but it is mid-tier at the very highest echelon of mid-tier.
7 out of 10. The best number.
Yeah, like all the environments look gorgeous. You can't go far in them. Like it's very linear, but they are fucking gorgeous. And then you get a really nice like arena where you beat the shit out of a load of character, and the boss you fought the last time is now a mainstead like enemy that you fight, and you have to juggle all these enemies, and you're always getting better, and you can play this game with like permadeath on it if you want.
You die once and
you're done. It is like a game that asks you to get better at it. And its lore is delivered in a really good way, and it's a world that I care about and a world that I like, and it is like really fun. Like I knew I'd like it, and I do.
Awesome. Bryan?
Yes.
Nice.
Thanks. One Piece Odyssey is a game that came out in 2023, and I'm currently playing it. This is a very going through the motions JRPG. You don't need to think too much about it. You don't have to worry about the systems.
Who made this?
I don't know.
Okay.
He doesn't even know, John.
That means no one who matters.
Yeah.
Okay, I hope when I beat this, there's credits, and I'm like, thank you, Takashi, or who, because it's Japanese devs. I'm sure some dude called Junpei made it. Like, those lads that I will never meet because I live in Ireland, and they're on the other side of this planet that we live on. Whiskey. And, okay, One Piece Odyssey is what if you did JRPG to One Piece characters. One Piece is a 25-year going manga, at least 26 years now. It's been going since 1997.
Yeah, sorry, Ryan. It's a Japanese manga.
Japanese manga, a comic book. Manhwa in Korean, but we are talking about Japanese stuff right here, my friend. I played a lot of One Piece games. This is one of the good ones.
Created by Oda.
Ichiro Oda, who I have multiple imaginary scenarios in which I meet him in Kinsale and talk about pirates. Look, when I'm in the bath and I think, my mind wanders. Don't you laugh. I know you have imaginary conversations in the shower with wrestlers.
It is always with wrestlers.
Yeah. Niamh, who are you talking to? Katie Lang? You talking to Alanis? Who are you talking to?
Niamh is talking
It's
to
Tori
some
Amos.
lesbian with a
Tori?
guitar and a billowy shirt.
It depends. It depends how sad I am at the time, but currently it's Tori Amos.
Jesus.
And I'm like, I get it.
She'd be like, who are you?
You're in my shower, Tori. Get out.
Yeah. I'm naked. I'm vulnerable. I have my willy out. And you are looking at it, Oda.
We're all cornflake girls in this scenario.
I picture, like, you know, I'm at a wrestling show and Sami Zayn comes up to me and he's like, oh, hey, look at this guy. And I kind of
I'll suck your dick.
And then, I mean, look, at this point, who fucking cares?
Look, it's just two men going at it.
You know, never mind. I was going to tell you my fun fantasy. But
So look, John has paid for these tickets and he's expecting more than he's bargained for, apparently.
me and Michelle practice our bloodline salutes every day.
Guys, come on. Clock.
Yeah, okay. One Piece is just a very by the numbers, by the motions JRPG, but what a fucking January game.
What's wrong, Niamh? Why are you covering your face?
This game, it's not remarkable, but it is certainly not unremarkable.
Is it doing the thing where it's hitting just enough of what you need it to hit?
Yeah.
There's not enough going on to the point that you need to concentrate, so you can have other shit on in the background.
Yeah, okay.
That's a valuable game.
Assassin's Creed.
Okay, yeah. No.
No.
Okay.
No, that's actually just shit, Niamh.
One interesting observation I want to make about this game, and I think it's clever that they did this. When you're introduced to the Straw Hat Pirates, they were all approximately level 40, which I thought was like, okay, we're starting at level 40 in the JRPG. We're not starting from 0. You are given like a tutorial area. You're given a good flavor of what's to come. And you get to see Luffy, doing his moves. You get to see Zoro doing his swords. You get to see Sanji saying... Sanjay. You get to see Nami doing weather. You get to see Usopp being a coward. You get to see the Frankie's there, kind of. Brook isn't there. Jinbei isn't missing in this game because they started development before he joined the crew 2.5 years ago.
That's fucking
But
crazy.
video games take a long time.
Is Jinbei official in the crew?
Yeah, for 2.5 years, yes.
Wow, I have not read since like the middle of... The one with the
Dressrosa?
dragon. No.
Whole cake? Wano?
Yeah.
Wano's done now. And now we're into Egghead, and it's fucking insane. There are 3 chapters crammed into one. Anyway, they do an interesting thing where the Straw Hats are at an interesting power level. Then their powers are stripped away from them narratively because there's a character who doesn't trust them because they're pirates. Then Luffy has to explain, we're good pirates. And she's like, okay, well then prove it. So now I'm at level 1 and I've already gone back up to level 10. And so it feels like I'm making progress, but it does the thing that like, I guess Metroid does, where you're given a flavor of what's to come. And so now I'm working towards that and I'm excited. That's a good way to introduce and then take away. And I don't know if other JRPGs do that.
I don't know. There's a lot of games that do try out that whole, like, here's a taster of all your abilities, and oh no, they're gone.
Yeah, and like the fact that you start with a full crew.
But I like that there's a really good narrative reason for
I don't know, I've seen it too many times in an RPG, which is kind of
the last
interesting.
time I can think about it was Devil May Cry.
Dante, you gotta earn it.
Mm-hmm.
Devil May Cry, they do it. Metroid Prime as well.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, the first opening act where you're a specced out Samus, and then you go back to 0 and you got to scale up again. It's a good way of like getting the player enthusiastic about what's to come, and more games should do that. Games are weird to make and we play them. John, you played Signalis.
I sure did. Let's talk about Vampire Survivors. I was wrong.
Until he was right.
I was wrong about Vampire Survivors. Yeah, that's a pretty good game. I think what I wasn't seeing was like the larger meta with like how you unlock stuff and the levels.
This is what I was saying.
You're right. And that's why this is why I went back into it, because you said that, and it is a cool game. I have come 360 around on it, where at some point I decided it was no longer worth my time and deleted it. I got so into Vampire Survivors on the plane over to New York. I went to New York before.
You did?
Yeah.
He went to America before us. How dare he?
I did it to try and like acclimatize so I wouldn't be jet lagged, but turns out New York is really tiring, so I was still fucked when I got to MAGFest.
It's true.
Yep. But also hung out with Jeff Bakalar. That was awesome. What a lovely man. I got really into Vampire Survivors on the plane over, and I was playing it so much while we were there that I never had an argument with Michelle over it, but it was simmering. You know that kind of way? You know that kind of way?
Yep.
It's
a problem in the background.
We're meant to be leaving? Oh, cool. I'll just finish this up.
Oh, it's 40 minutes later.
Yeah. Good game. Really. And they've made a lot of improvements to it as well. Be Ace Attorney, the great Ace Attorney.
Did you feel good about that?
No. A lot of people were really excited me to get to the really awesome second game. And let me tell you, it's not that often I'll pour 80 hours into a game and wish I hadn't played it. Fuck, guys.
You lied to him.
I don't think there's anything more frustrating than meeting the final boss of a game 7 hours in and being like, well, that's the final boss because he has a final boss design. And then 80 hours later, someone points at that character and goes, "It was you."
Nah, no shit.
Yeah, no shit. Honestly, I really love the first Ace Attorney game. I think it's really fun. I think it's got problems, but I think it's really, really cool. There was a lot of stuff to like about the second game. The problem is that it's all spaced out a mind-numbing amount. It has that JRPG problem, I feel, where something's about to happen, the characters explain it's about to happen, then it happens, the characters explain that it's happening, and then the characters explain that it's just happened. And it's like...
That's so frustrating.
It wasn't quite as bad as Persona 5 in that regard, but I just...
No, Goro Catchy, who knew? Who knew?
Yeah, but...
We've one friend who didn't know.
I think we have one friend who really knew.
Knew too much.
Look, Goro Akechi has had such a positive influence on her life.
Yeah, it's kind of like that character sucks, but her life is so much better than that character.
That's how she met her fucking part. Oh, like no, that's awesome. That's fucking up.
Yeah, but fucking Goro.
Yeah, we love you, Louise. Seriously. Yeah, for the amount of time that game took.
That's not a good investment.
They were like, I am genuinely pissed, and like there is good shit about it. Even in the second game, there's some really fun characters. There's some okay cases, but the main problem is it all gets bogged down in this big giant conspiracy that's like I just never found that interesting. You know, I think Phoenix Wright is nearly better when it's just concentrating on small individual cases and putting its whole ass into that. Also, like, the amount of character reuse in the second game. Like, my least favorite defendant from the first game comes back, and I just don't get what the fuck emotion I was meant to be feeling with this guy. He's the guy who poses constantly, and it's like I didn't find it funny in the first 2 minutes. I sure didn't find it funny in the 20th hour. So yeah, I know a lot of people were really psyched for me to finish this game and were really encouraging me to do it. This is what you get for believing in me, and let that be a lesson to the rest of you. Moving along, Signalis.
Fucking finally.
Are you the champion of Signalis?
Just fucking get it done with. Rip that bandage.
So can we why does Signalis provoke such strong reactions with you guys?
Okay, so I said this to you guys before. How do you know
Bryan,
someone...
this is so needlessly mean.
How do you know someone is a fan of Signalis? Oh, don't worry, they'll tell you.
I think that's...
Every year there's that one little game that people champion to the point that you're overexposed.
Undertale is a meta-narrative piece of genius. Where's Life is Strange?
John,
it's deadly.
Look, no one is in comparing...
Disco Elysium Director's Cut.
Yeah. To Signalis. Signalis is like the most fine game I've ever played. It's grand.
How dare you? That's like saying you hate it.
It's gorgeous looking. It's fine.
That's not enough, Niamh. You have to say it's perfect.
The gameplay is fine. The narrative is just like, yeah, I like Ghost in the Shell. It's fine.
Can I say what I think of Signalis?
Go on.
Yeah, you played it. I haven't.
If we could redo Game of the Year, I think Signalis would land like early 20s.
Yeah, 23.
23 is a good number.
Yeah,
that's a fair number.
Yeah. Okay, I like Signalis. Signalis is pretty good. I think it's... I definitely got that really satisfying feeling of like, you know when you're playing a really well-designed survival horror and you're like connecting it all together and it's like, oh, this goes here, this goes here. I got stuck 1 or 2 times and I was like, I am too emotionally exhausted to figure out what is happening, so I'm just going to look it up. But other than that, like there were puzzles in it that made me feel smart. It was cool. Right now, I'm about an hour into the mine shaft. Have you been into the mine shaft, Niamh?
Yeah.
So what I actually really, really liked about the mine shaft was all of Signalis is like, it's basically on a giant grid. Mm-hmm. It's like everything is laid out very kind of perfectly. And what's really fucking cool when you get down to the mine shaft, and look, there's an area late in this survival horror that is strange and explains the rest of what went wrong. Okay? Look, that's what happens. You go down to the mine shaft and the perspective switches to isometric. I thought that was fucking awesome.
That's a good...
I thought that was so cool.
That's an interesting technique.
Really, really interesting. And now that I'm kind of going deeper and deeper into the mineshaft, I am actually seeing shit that's like legit freaking me out, which is great because I did not find this game scary. Maybe one tiny cutscene where you see like a monster cutting up other monsters. I found that kind of unnerving. Other than that, this has not frightened me at all until now.
I think the soundtrack's really tense. Like the music, I really like.
The soundtrack's beautiful.
I've heard the atmosphere is 10 out of 10.
The atmosphere is very good. And like, I have a real soft spot for survival horror save room themes. This one, mwah, beautiful. So yeah, I'm really enjoying the game. I think I've definitely seen that kind of online swell of like, this is like just an incredible distillation of survival horror. I'm not there. I'm more like, this is a pretty cool survival horror. I'm glad I played it. I appreciate that the story seems ambitious. Niamh, I think your description of like Ghost in the Shell, a little dismissive. I think it does have more stuff going on.
I love Ghost in the Shell.
I know, but I genuinely think
makes her happy.
This does have some interesting stuff going on.
I think my problem with Signalis is not that I don't like it. It's more that its influences are very on its sleeve.
Sure.
Like, even with the Resident Evil and everything else.
Yeah, because
it's just like,
it is Resident Evil in space from that perspective.
Yeah, and like, I find it hard to find its own identity in it apart from its aesthetic leanings.
I think now that I'm very late in it and things are getting organic, I am feeling I am kind of, okay, it was leading me here the whole time, and I appreciate that about it. But with the story, it's like, I occasionally catch a snatch of the story that I understand that I genuinely think is really interesting. And it's like, I don't know if you found Adler's Diary, where he talks about the days. It's pretty fucking cool. But I'm also being shown cutscenes of characters interacting together, and I have no idea who they are or what I'm meant to be feeling. And I get that it's the kind of game that you can piece together, but say with Dark Souls, you see a Dark Souls cutscene and you're like, well, that's a fucking scary boss. And then you go watch a Vati video and it's like, here's a bunch of details about that cutscene you didn't know. Now, you still got everything about that cutscene you were meant to get, in that this boss is scary and now you have to fight it, and like the lore is there. My problem with Signalis is that it will show you a story scene and I genuinely can't take anything from it because I don't know the story. And at some point, it's like, I get that this is a story they want people to puzzle over and piece together, but at another, if you're not giving me anything out of these cutscenes,
it's hard to get the energy behind it.
Yeah, it's just a bit frustrating.
It's very vibe based, and I feel like it kind of leans on its influences for you to use the influences to piece together what it's trying to say.
So I am very cool with shit being vibe-based, but if you're going to go vibe-based, go really fucking vibe-based. Okay. Don't show me like one character pushing another character down an elevator shaft and frame it like it's a shocking moment when I feel like I've never seen either.
Yeah, it's just like, why does this matter? Why do I care about this?
Yeah, and like, let me think of...
It's shocking because it's violent, but it's not shocking in terms of what I'm witnessing because I don't care about either of them.
So like, Yume Nikki would be like the ultimate vibe game, and that's not trying to tell you a story, it's just giving you vibes.
No, there is barely a narrative. A lot of that is just like a sensation.
Yeah, and so if Yume Nikki had a cutscene where like story shit played out and then you kept playing, I think that would nearly take away from it. Kind of feel like that's a bit what Signalis does sometimes. Like, there is a very thin line between vibe-based story and badly told story. A couple of times with Signalis I felt like it was the latter. That said, enjoy this game. You know, if you like survival horror, I think there's enough people fanatical about it that it's worth checking out. And I'd say, yeah, give it a look.
It clearly hits with a lot of people, and I think that's like a reason to check it out.
Yeah, and also, it's an indie game made by 2 people.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of hard work.
There is some absolutely fucking stellar, just like economic use of game design stuff. I would have loved to have more characters in it, because it's the kind of story with very few characters. Like, when I say characters, like, there's nothing to latch on to, really. You know, you're looking for a girl, you don't know much about her, you don't know much about the person you're playing as. It's still a fucking cool game. Like, I had a good time with it. I would recommend it to people, but
it's on Game Pass. You don't really have much to lose.
Definitely not.
Yeah, you got the Xbox Series X. Yes.
And then other than that, I've been playing a little bit of Fire Emblem Engage.
I've played a bit of this too.
Is it worth me picking up?
That really depends.
It's definitely
what do you want
like
out of it?
Yeah.
Like Three Houses?
No.
Narrative?
No.
Okay.
This is
Okay.
baby's first JRPG.
Okay.
This
Then no.
is
Niamh,
like
you have
a
to collect the 12 rings and beat the Fell Dragon.
Yeah.
That's how did they go from Three Houses to this?
This is clearly like a quick storyline, but they had to keep the staff working. Intelligent Systems do not turn those lights off.
Okay.
They have been making a game every year and a half to 2 years. Like they're constantly in production, and like it's great. I'm sure it's a great place to work for because you get to make a Paper Mario game or a Fire Emblem game every 2 years. Mm-hmm. But the writing in this game is very simple. I do like that the protagonist has dialogue because it's been a while since they've not had a silent protagonist.
Yeah.
And that's working for me. Little Colgate-chan, Pepsi-chan, they're working all right.
Yeah, it is really interesting comparing this game to Three Houses because it is practically like from a different series.
Even
Wow.
visually, like the characters are one head shorter. Like they're stumpier and cuter. They're chibier. And like even when they have the summons, which are like Marth, Lynn, like a lot of old, like Roy, Ike, a lot of like famous Fire Emblem characters.
Bryan, I'm sorry, Emblem Roy.
Emblem Roy, yes.
Emblem Marth.
Because it's not actually
It's not actually them.
It's not Marth. It's just Marth, but it's Marth.
It's Marth if he was a ghost in another universe.
But like they're done slightly different, but they're still matching the art direction. But it's a very, very different. It's completely different Tree Houses. There's no romance except that you build.
Oh, I'm gonna fuck someone. I guarantee.
But like it has Engage, but it's like you are.
Yeah, the
it's basically like
mechanic is not romantic.
No, it's like Persona. It's just like it's you and your fucking spirit fusion. Like it's not.
Okay.
But then I've seen some cutscenes from it, and I was like, these girls are fucking gay.
Oh, yeah,
you know,
it's Fire Emblem.
Yeah,
someone's fucking.
Well, they're giving fodder. It's like weird that they're not capitalizing on it as being a mechanic.
Yeah.
Like really, this feels like this shouldn't be a full game, but it is.
Yeah.
So I don't know about that.
It's just like World of Final Fantasy, where it's just like, here, this will tide you over.
It okay. In terms of that, it genuinely feels like Fire Emblem fan fiction in Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
Like it's so weird. I'm having a really good time with this game.
It's very good Fire Emblem. Like they know how to make a game, and the strategy JRPG element of it is.
Like to be honest with you, like I think if you really love Three Houses, this game is going to leave you cold.
Yeah.
I did not, and a lot of the shit I didn't like about Three Houses is completely flipped in this game. Like
is the combat gun like? Is it like? Are you feeling challenged by it?
So the combat is good, and I am actually
eventually it's good. It takes a while.
So I had a bit today where something went wrong and a character I liked died, and I have permadeath turned on.
Mm-hmm.
I have
Oh yeah, of course.
normal and permadeath turned on, and trying to puzzle out how not to get into that situation was really fun.
And like this doesn't have the time rewind mechanic of Tree Houses because does it?
Yeah.
Shit, maybe I have to turn it off. Fuck. Gotta fucking go back a save file.
This is Brian's attention span again.
Yeah. At least just 20 save files. I use those 20 save. I do appreciate when JRPGs have
How far are you in it, Brian?
Only 3 hours to be honest.
You probably just haven't hit the time rewind yet.
Yeah, see, I'm playing more One Piece. I'm playing 2 fucking JRPGs at the feels, which is a really good idea.
A lot was said about the character design in this game. How are you feeling about it, Brian?
It's fine. Sometimes they feel like characters from a mobile game. And I mean that in
Do you think it was?
Yeah.
Do you think it started life as one?
No, I don't.
There's some elements.
I love the character design of this game. Some of those characters are so stupid and hideous, and some of them they're so ridiculous. Like they I feel like
some bullshit attached to them.
I really did not like the character design of Three Houses. I've gone on record on this podcast saying I think that game's hideous. I still think that.
Not wrong.
Yeah. I love how far they've pushed some of these characters. They look so stupid.
Okay,
Brian, have you met, there's
no.
the princess of the First Kingdom, the sister of the guy with the spear.
I've just met her, yeah.
Doesn't she just look insane?
Okay. The way I was going to start is there's a real, like, weekend morning cartoon Super Sentai vibe to it. Like they are going
Totally.
they're going full blown Power Rangers, Kamen Rider. Like everybody has a primary color and a bunch of flair.
Yeah.
Okay.
They know what they're doing.
The story is not great.
No.
Like, I hear it gets more interesting, but I feel like I've heard that from literally every JRPG in the
Niamh,
world.
it's been 1,000 years.
Oh, okay.
But what I will say is, like, the characters are kind of fun. I've done some like support scenes with like the main Divine Dragon character, and like they're kind of boring. It's mostly just like, we're friends, right? But then when you see some of the support scenes from like, you know, your side characters, they're actually really fun. Probably not far enough in it to say much more than that, but the battles are fun. It feels amazing. Like, this is the best animation Fire Emblem has ever had.
It's slick.
Oh my god, it's beautiful, and like it just all the hits and stuff connect so well and feels so meaty.
There was the one gripe I have is because like the game is tile based. I wish it had a snap feel when you move tile to tile. At the moment, you kind of feel like you're moving organically, even though you're moving tile to tile.
It's a bit weird, yeah.
But it doesn't snap into place. I wish it had like a as you went like horizontally, diagonally, whatever. It doesn't have that step-by-step feel that you usually have in a grid. And so I have the grid turned on so that I know that I'm moving 8 spaces or 6 spaces, you know, in a specific way.
I don't think I'm too much further than you, Bryan, so I don't have too much more to say about it, but I'm having a good time with it. It's a great podcast game.
Yeah. You put it on the background, you play a bit. I put YouTube on, I watched the video essays while I play this. I'm getting 50% of both of those pieces of media. Mm-hmm. All right, John?
Oh, which one did you watch?
Not yours, John. I give yours 100% attention on the toilet. Don't we all?
Do you watch mine on toilet leave?
Always.
Seriously?
Yeah. I don't poop for a month and a half, and then you put out a video and
she just drops a fat one.
Yeah.
She just fucking...
But it could still be a little while till the Roman Reigns one, so maybe...
Niamh lights a candle and everything.
Yeah, I know.
No, that's that weird fan that has a wank.
Jesus, what?
Do you remember that years ago we talked about? Niamh, you said that someone lights a candle has a wank to John's videos.
Did I?
Yeah.
So I
Whoops.
I don't know. Maybe it did, but yeah, no.
That sounds right though.
I became aware. I don't want to talk about it. I became aware a couple of years ago. There's a small community of people that like to.
Oh yes, I remember this. Yeah.
To like rub one out.
I was just trying to
John's.
make it romantic for you.
Well, friends, and then they go, oh.
I would hope they last a little longer than that.
Yeah. Check out the podcast. Whoa.
Oh wait, yeah, no. If it's the end credits,
yeah.
That's a long time to last.
No. At that point, they're blasting a load. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's video games. Let's fucking move on.
Yeah. So we're gonna be on hiatus for a little.
Yeah.
We're not gonna do emails. You guys want to do Patreon shoutouts?
Yeah.
Or just want to say like, look, patreon.com/LFAB. If you want, you really, you know. I don't know if I would.
Okay, look, I'm going to say it. This is not a super time to subscribe to the Patreon.
But we acknowledge that it exists, and we will be taking control of the situation.
Yeah, and we appreciate it.
Yes.
We really, really do a lot.
But we do have a backlog of Patreon shoutouts, and we are going to read the best of our ability.
We're going to get... no matter whatever the future of this podcast... I promise we will get to the end of it, and I also promise we will fucking beat Shenmue 2.
No.
Don't get it twisted.
So, Patreon shoutouts. This is from Fen. When you read this out in 3 years, I'll be a girl. Smiley face.
That's so cool.
That's a really good...
It's been kind of like 2 years-ish since this.
Yeah, this is May 21. Yeah, no, that's coming out.
How's that going for you? I hope it's going well.
Live your truth, Fen.
Hell yeah. Okay, for John to say, wait.
This is from Arabi, the Ascended.
I don't want to read this.
Say it.
Ooh, please. Sorry.
John, start again.
Ahem. Ooh, please, steppy. I like to be steppy on ooh, please.
Beautiful.
This next one is from Arexu. Don't know what to say. This is too much pressure. I just wanted to give you money.
Thank you.
That's a great attitude.
Yeah, that's brilliant. You're my favorite type of person.
Yeah, that is the energy we strive for.
For folks... John has to say this in his melodramatic, super perpetual voice. Okay, they said mammy in this. I'm not going to say mammy. I don't know why I'm so averse to that. I just am.
This is from Sturdy Willow Tree.
This is from Sturdy Willow Tree.
That's a great username.
Okay, I'm only fucking reading this because we're going on hiatus. Imagine something so pure, so delicate, yet bold. Something that has all the Irish mams going wild. The physical personification of pure wholesomeness. It is something that personally means a lot to me, and that over the years I have come to know on a very deep and intimate level. Today, friends, we are going to be talking about Bryan's body. Okay, listen, fan base, you get that and never again.
That next one was from Ranok, who asked Bryan right after does a pterodactyl screech. So that's a double whammy for you kids.
Nice.
Niamh, you got this last one.
This is from Neras. Started listening in high school, out of university now. Niamh, it really sounds like you love Shenmue. Have a great day.
That fucks me up. Jesus Christ.
I'm glad someone likes Shenmue.
We've aged.
Yeah.
I kind of do like Shenmue.
Jesus Christ.
Do you not like Shenmue, Bryan?
No, I fucking hate it.
I feel like during Shenmue 1, though, you were the one who was like kind of the most up for it.
I just think that's one of the contributing factors to a lot of things, and I fucking hate that game so much. And one of the few good things out of 2022 was that we didn't play that fucking piece of shit.
Okay, Bryan, here's my guarantee to you. The ending of Shenmue 2 is going to turn you around on the entire franchise.
Yeah, because it fucking made you feel like you had closure.
Oh, no. No, that's not what happened at all.
No, it's not, is it? No. They go into that cave and we all die.
That is one interpretation of what could happen.
It's the best ending we got.
Guys.
Okay.
I need to go.
Loot drop. I have 3 loot drops, so one from each of us via me.
This is via Bryan.
Okay.
Mine's the best one.
From Bryan, aka Niamh, we have Geno7 on YouTube, the bizarre music and sound design of Wario Land 4.
Beautiful, my favorite game.
From Bryan, aka John, we have Zoom Zyke on YouTube. Super Mario World doesn't have a first level.
Sure.
Yeah, and from Bryan, aka Bryan, we have Dancing Bacons on YouTube, the strangest vending machine shop in the world. This is a video that really pissed me off because this was my private space in Japan, and now this dude is fucking exposed it to the masses. And you know what? I'm going to take ownership of it. Bryan was here first, bitch.
Wow.
There you go.
I guess my loot drop is I will probably do a little more Twitch streaming in between now and whatever comes next for Let's Fight a Boss. You can find me over at twitch.tv/
Super Eye Patch.
Super Eye Patch Wolf.
Is it Eye Patch Wolf or Super?
I don't know.
We'll put it out there.
Just search Eye Patch Wolf Twitch. Look, I can't do all the fucking work for you, okay?
Yeah. John has a Twitch channel. Yeah. He's on the internet. Niamh, do you want to just do something?
I just wanted to say that I really needed to record this episode. It was really nice to record with my friends because everything's been a little hard. And I just want to thank you all for listening. And yeah, we're taking a break.
Yeah, like we're not fighting with each other. Don't worry.
Yeah.
We watched wrestling before this.
If you guys want the fucking drama, you come to those Twitch streams.
Yeah.
You guys don't need to worry about that.
I don't like being live on the internet. It's scary. How'd you do it? Like, what if you say a slur?
Bryan,
I'm never going to say. I don't say slurs in my daily life.
But this is the thing where you're like near the balcony and you're like, okay, don't jump off the balcony. I'm not gonna do it.
I get it, but I think if you spend enough times on balconies, you're gonna realize that you don't jump off them.
I'm so scared of fucking going near a balcony.
Anyway. Niamh ended the episode on a really beautiful note, Bryan. You ruined that.
Yeah.
I think that's the podcast. Thanks, everyone.
That's how it is. Bye.
Bye.
I forgot to hit record. Sorry.
Fuck.